Tzu Chi distributes aid to low-lying areas throughout China which were hit by extremely heavy rainfall leading to rampant flooding. Volunteers help Vietnamese woman cope with the pressure of caring for her stroke-afflicted husband and son disabled through injury.
I'm Sean Scanlon. This is Dai Headlines. In China, heavy rainfall caused many low-lying areas in Yunnan to be seriously flooded. Volunteers sent vegetarian meals to help affected residents. Guangdong also suffered severe floods, especially Dongyang Village. Volunteers went to the affected area to distribute supplies to more than 400 affected families.
Three weeks after Tzu Chi's damage assessments in June, the volunteers once again came to the Dongyang village of Shangping Township to prepare for an aid distribution the next day. On the day of the distribution, the villagers arrived early, working together to help prepare the event.
Although it is very hot, the villagers still want to don a volunteer's vest because they feel it is good to wear it. They also hope we can give them one. I do not know how to express my feelings upon hearing that. I am deeply moved.
Despite the hot weather, the villagers wait patiently to receive supplies. The village secretary also thanks Tzu Chi on behalf of the residents.
Thanks to all the kind-hearted people of the Tzu Chi Foundation. Thanks for their hard work for coming from afar to help us. We should remember their selfless devotion and great love, as well as pass down this kind of spirit through our Dongyang village.
Dongyang village was the worst hit area by the floods in early June. Therefore, the volunteers prepared various kinds of daily supplies to help affected residents get back on their feet as soon as possible.
I did not know I was going to receive so many different supplies. I feel very happy.
The villagers can now use quality items and look forward to better lives. With many kind-hearted people coming here to support them, they will be more inspired.
Many people still feel frightened when recalling the floods which took place more than a month ago.
Back then, we could only save ourselves first. All communication networks were down with no electricity available. Later, the water receded at night, and we checked the entire residential area to see whether there was someone who did not escape from danger.
Besides the floods in Guangdong, Kunming, Yunnan was also flooded due to 2 days of heavy rainfall, causing many low-lying areas to be flooded. Local volunteers immediately mobilized to send vegetarian lunch boxes to the elderly and residents who were trapped.
I am very thankful to each kind person of the Tzu Chi Foundation. Being able to see everyone here today, I feel blessed. We will communicate with each other more often. If we have any chance in the future, we should reunite our strength to help more people in need.
A Tzu Chi care recipient in Shenyang takes care of her 2 ailing adult children on her own since her husband passed away. Earlier in the month, Tzu Chi volunteers visited her to begin helping her clean her home, make repairs, but did not complete the task. So recently, they revisited to finish up. A doctor was among the volunteer group and took a look at the son's condition. Here's more.
Since the last time Tzu Chi volunteers visited, it's only been about half a month. Liu Guifen didn't think she would see them so soon.
I've been eating more lately. Normally I just have 1 bowl. Now I can eat 2.
After her husband passed away, Liu has been taking care of her 2 sons on her own. The older one suffered a stroke while the second son is paralyzed and cannot take care of himself. It's a tiring job, both physically and emotionally.
You're here to do my chores, assist me, give me money, help around the house, supporting me in everything, including cleaning up my home and buying things for me. I'm truly touched.
The volunteers deeply care for her, thus pays her 1 more visit this month. After helping relieve her back pain, they continue with the work left unfinished from last visit. The volunteer sees Liu as family and takes her dirty bed sheets and laundry home to wash, as they want to lessen her chores.
今天开不开心，老妈妈？
开心，
真好。
是你们给我的服务啊。
In the Philippines, a couple blind from cataracts have to care for one another. Whenever they try to cook, they always burn their hands. Thankfully, they underwent eye surgery through Tzu Chi's medical outreach. The couple can now see again.
Wife Concepcion went blind from cataracts 3 years ago, leaving the husband to pick up the slack with household chores and cooking. 3 months ago, husband Winifredo found his vision to be diminishing as well.
I cannot see. Sometimes it seems I'm better off dead than being alive.
Their sons worked away in the city to try to save up money for their eye surgery. It's difficult knowing they aren't by their side.
I'm worried about my parents, but I must go to work to provide for them.
Knowing Tzu Chi's free medical clinic will be in Boho, a neighbor told the family about it. On this day, the son came back home to accompany the parents through eye surgeries. Upon being able to see again, Winifredo eagerly reads the words he sees.
I'm happy I can work and walk on my own again.
We can both see again. This kind of happiness is hard to buy with money.
A week after the surgery, volunteers pay the elderly couple a visit. Wife Concepcion leads them around, while Winifredo goes to the woods to pick up supplies for making charcoal to sell.
Before the surgery, we even lost our appetite because even though we had food, it was always cooked badly. Now, after the surgery, our quality of life has vastly improved.
Thanks to Tzu Chi's medical outreach, the couple can enjoy the rest of their lives without much worry.
Using electronic devices for long periods of time often leads to text neck. Originally, it might just feel like a little numbing in the area. Without treatment, this could possibly lead to neck muscles being overworked.
Cai Kai-fan loves being a photographer, no matter if it's doing work, on vacation, or doing volunteer work. During a trip with Tzu Chi to photograph disaster surveys, he took over 20,000 pictures in 2 months. The unique stance Cai photographs in isn't for show, but for other reasons.
The pain starts from the neck up to the head. It hurts a lot. Often I have to take painkillers.
He often experiences headaches and recurrent shoulder dislocation.
I have a habit of pulling on my neck, and I'll hear cracks in it.
At 37 years of age, Cai looks healthy and strong, but actually,
Sometimes I feel like I can't breathe right. I didn't know that it was related.
In breathing, your ribcage expands one by one. But when it gets to the top, if it's not expansive enough, it will feel like you're not getting enough air.
these minor symptoms left untreated compounds into a bad cycle.
Although he's not obese, but right here in this spot feels like he has fatty tissue deposits. It's due to the long-term stress built up.
His work involves using the computer and the mobile phone. Each day, he spends at least 10 hours using electronic devices.
I have a tendency to hunch.
I want to break the bad cycle of pain. Due to his muscle being overworked, his bone alignment fell off, and with it out of place, the muscles need to exert themselves more. If I adjust the bones back into shape, then the muscles won't have to work as much, and there won't be that much tension.
Using the chiropractic activator gun to push the bone alignment into the right position, along with acupuncture to increase blood flow in the neck area. The doctor is helping Tai getting the treatment he needs to fix his problem.
"20 years ago, a Vietnamese bride married a Taiwanese man and relocated. She then faced a series of unfortunate events that nearly crushed her. Thankfully, Tzu Chi volunteers appeared during this dark period, giving her a chance to change her destiny."
最忙的时候，大概中午这个时间，对不对？对对对，嘿。哦，你忙到都没时间讲话了。
The lunch rush at the small noodle store is the entire hope of Atao's family.
为了生活，
Is to survive. My daughter is still in school, and my husband and son are injured. There's only me left to do this.
只有我一个人。
At 27 years old, Atao married a Taiwanese man and moved to Taiwan. She was enjoying her happily ever after when 4 years ago it all changed.
孩子出车祸，
Her son got into an accident, then her husband had a stroke, and then her mother-in-law passed away, which affected her even more. She really once thought of running away.
Back then, Atao felt like a blade of grass in the middle of a heavy rainstorm, nearly being uprooted by the storm at any minute. It was that moment that Tzu Chi came into her life.
能给我一
They really offer me so much strength. Every time an obstacle comes up, they show up to help me.
With the constant love and care, Atao has changed. She even attended the Buddha Day ceremony held in May this year.
我能够
I've been able to inspire her inner Dharma joy and gratitude.
She has also made a little space at the back of the noodle shop for collecting recyclables.
She has transformed because she made a wish that one day she wants to wear the same uniform as us.
我真的很想。
I really want to be a volunteer, as there are so many more people in the world that needs help.
也是还有很多人困难。
With her husband and son's medical conditions stable, Atao has transformed her destiny. She holds on to her heart of gratitude and looks forward to giving back one day.
Students from the Tzu Chi Senior High School Elementary Division in Hualien visited Singapore to conduct an exchange program. Besides understanding more about different cultures, students also visit a local new water plant to learn how to save water resources.
我们要用牛车，牛车把水拖到这个地方，所以叫牛车水。
The place is named based on the ways how people carry water in the past. This shows how much Singaporeans value water.
但是新加坡呢的水一个自来水从4个来源，没有其他国家是这样子。
Singapore, which has a population of 5 million people, has been purchasing water from Malaysia for 50 years and is actually a water-stressed country. Now Singapore converts people's household wastewater into new water, which is currently their method to cherish water resources.
Singapore has the name Garden City because people there are very good at greening and protecting the environment. When I arrived in Singapore, I found it is true.
These are 6 ways to reduce single-use plastic.
Students from the Tzu Chi Senior High School Elementary Division in Hualien also introduced in English the importance of marine plastic reduction. Students from the 2 different countries all know that they should protect the earth since childhood.
Do impact testing into the concrete. The depth of penetration will tell you the strength.
Visiting the Elder Center and listening to instructions in English, the children encounter different ethnicity and language on their visits to another country.
They have all prepared for this visit beforehand, so when they travel far, they can actually know much.
To make the children's visits worthwhile, local Dai mothers also spend 2 or 3 days going through the planned schedule.
We hope they can learn a lot of things and know more about the multiple cultures in Singapore.
Through 7 days of international cultural exchanges, the elementary students have learned from each other and will share what they have learned when they are back to Taiwan.
Singapore is also a green city. More importantly, Singapore is also an island country just like us. The main purpose of exchange program this time is to learn to reduce marine plastic.
Not only through sharing lessons, but the students also visit the new water plant, which treats and desalinates sewage and seawater, as well as converts it into drinking water. It is hoped that the method that local residents use to save water resources can also be carried out in Taiwan.
A man in Malaysia suffered a bad fall 4 years ago, causing paralysis. Fortunately, his wife, along with his son and daughter, stayed with him. Tzu Chi volunteers taught his wife to grow vegetables as his family is working together to be self-sufficient.
4 years ago, Kak fell from an extreme height. Now he can only sit in a wheelchair. His daughter was very caring and would help him manage his life and even prepare him 3 meals a day. The son is also very sensible and wins at many sports competitions. He also takes the initiative to help his mother tend to the farm and collect vegetables. He's really a good helper. His family is now more united than ever because of this accident. His wife is from Cambodia, wasn't able to do much at the beginning, but now her vegetable garden is thriving, and it's the main source of income for the family.
He can't eat by himself. He has to wait for us and rely on us. We must be at home. We can't leave him alone.
Tzu Chi volunteers taught her to plant vegetables and has provided support and care for the past 4 years without interruption.
You have taken care of us from beginning to end. You've even cared about our emotions, and we are all very grateful.
Tzu Chi has helped us a lot for 3 or 4 years. We are very grateful, and I would also like to thank my wife.
This family is only grateful for the support they have, and they don't complain. They have become more joyful, and the children also donate to bamboo banks every day to repay everyone's kindness.
I do this because I want to help other people. I know that this will help other people. I know it because it is written right here.
This home is filled with laughter and love, which is never far away, as his family continues to be hopeful about the future.
Do you know that there are more than 10,000 roadkill accidents involving wildlife in Taiwan each year? A local website is now reporting upon which roads are the most dangerous for wildlife. 8 years ago, the Taiwan Roadkill Observation Network formed, helping make local roads safer for wildlife.
这里是三峡靠近满月森林游乐区的115乡道，然后我们今天主要做的是看这条路上有什么物种受到路杀。
Xu Zhongting and Chen Jing are 2 members of the Taiwan Roadkill Observation Network and also the Frog in Shansha Society. They are conservation volunteers who go out in the evening looking to protect rare frog species. During the breeding season, they try to protect them a bit more, but they are not always successful.
This is actually our hotspot. We are now striving for an ecological corridor, and especially this road band. Our red frogs and brown tree frogs here are very stable in quantity. In this section, we had never had such a high record killed, as we lost 94 in one night.
In fact, after I joined the Roadkill Watch Group, I will pay more attention to the issue of ecology. Seeing the big and small roadkill on the road leads me to think that there is too much of this. When I was at school or wherever I encountered it, I would take a photograph and use what little strength I had to give such basic data to researchers.
我们就是透过民众参与的方式，然后把这些不幸死亡的动物，那捡拾了之后，把它制作成各式各样的标本。
Lin De-en is an assistant researcher at the Endemic Species Research Center and collects data sent from volunteers. In 2011, he shared a photo of a snake being killed on the road on the internet, and the incident led to the establishment of this platform.
In the previous surveys in the wild, I found that it was not easy to find a living snake, but I could easily see the snake that was crushed on the road. So I posted a picture of the snake and a simple explanation, and I never thought it would achieve such a response.
In the past 8 years, the Taiwan Roadkill Observation Network has accumulated more than 140,000 pieces of information. Among them, more than 4,500 volunteers from all over Taiwan have contributed 85,000 incidents, involving upwards of 577 species. It has also collected more than 50,000 pieces of data from other organizations.
At present, the group with the largest number of roadkill are actually reptiles. The main reason is that snakes are very long and everyone is afraid of it, so it is especially easy to discover them as roadkill. In Taiwan, the most vulnerable group to roadkill is actually frogs. This is because the frog is very small, and a single car can kill dozens of frogs. Few would take notice as frogs are too small. In terms of location, county and township roads are the most prevalent locations. Provincial roads are relatively low areas because of their environment. However, because of the fast speed of provincial roads, this is where most carnivores and large animals are subject to roadkill, as they are a threat to traffic safety.
Through the systematic investigation of the roads across Taiwan, more data about animal types and roadkill data is obtained, with spring and autumn seasons having the most deaths.
The season when Taiwan is most prone to road killing is from April. Spring is coming and it usually is raining. The climate is getting warmer and many animals come out to breed. In the fall, there will be a second peak in October, which is actually related to the habits of animals. At this time, there are many animals preparing for winter, or larvae growing up to be adult and ready to leave their parents to find a new environment. At this time, they move a lot and can be easily killed.
Although this data represents life and death, it can also be used to promote animal-friendly facilities. After being provided to authorities such as the Directorate's Journal of Highways. Cooperative efforts between the Taiwan Roadkill Observation Network and the Directorate's Journal of Highways led to a section of road by Miaoli's Liyutan Reservoir in the Provincial Highway 3 to be chosen for an AI-aided warning system.
This is a variable information sign system. Normally this would advertise traffic information, but when the speed of the vehicle is more than 40 kilometers and an animal is detected, it will warn the driver to please slow down.
If I find roadkill, I will use the scale card and put it next to the body.
Our system is to use very simple interface to let people at any time or place, as long as they find animals that die in this environment, to just take a picture and send it to us. In the end, we hope that through this process, everyone can cherish the lives of all animals.
In addition to paying attention when driving, if you find that a small animal is unfortunately killed, you can also help to take pictures and upload it, making a contribution to improving the unfortunate roadkill situation in Taiwan.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Puli visit a sanitarium every few months to provide free haircuts to those suffering mental disabilities. We will leave you with this. Goodbye.